It's all good, man. Shout out to Solo, man, for shooting this, man.
Make sure y'all subscribe to his YouTube channel, Solo Kid.
Yeah, what's good, world? It's your boy SK74 Official, back with another video. Today, as you see, we got another guest. And I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself. We're gonna hit these deck of cards and get in there.
How y'all doing? I'm Kian Diral, the barber. And let's get it, I'm ready.
Alright, cool. The first one, what inspired you to pursue a career in barbering?
So, first thing, my pops had been cutting hair for a long time. Pretty much my whole life. My mama's ex-boyfriend, I got 3 brothers. They dad, he was cutting hair, so I had been around it for a long time. So what really pushed me to it was watching my pops, the lifestyle that he lived, and you know, he was kind of in the streets a little bit. And when I seen, you know, how his life was going, and then he decided to pursue a career in barbering. And when he got into that, I seen his life drastically change. So at the time, I was looking at things that I wanted out of my life, and being in the streets wasn't necessarily working for me either. So that was what first got me into it, interested in it.
That's good. It's good that you did find your career early too. It keeps you out of trouble with situations, so you don't have to worry about what shit being in the streets dealing with other shit like your pops probably had to deal with at one point. But okay, cool. Alright. How did you start your journey? Was it attending barbering school, learning from a apprentice, or learning from maybe a close relative?
So I started it with barber school. Like I said, after that's my pops now. After my pops, when I seen him doing it for a few years, you know, I tried to take a few jobs and shit wasn't really working for me, and I found out I had a kid on the way. So that's what really pushed me to want to do something different. I really wanted to be a truck driver. But my baby mama, she wasn't really feeling that idea at the time. She thought I was gonna be on the road too much. So in order to do something where I could stay at home, I chose to go to barber school. So
thanks, I respect that. Can't leave you young. I get that. Alright, this next one, I'm gonna just say you probably already kind of answered it in the last few segments, but did anyone mentor or influence you into your career? Yes or no? And if so, who?
I would say yes and no. It was kind of one of those things. When I got into barber school, what happened around that time, we had like a bad storm around that time in Gary, and the power had went out in a lot of places.
For like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Coincidentally, which I didn't notice at the time, my pops had got sent to the school that I was at 2 weeks prior to me starting.
Okay.
So when I had finally started there, you know, they always actually introduce yourself, ask you what made you decide to get into barbering. So when I'm telling them about why I chose to get into it, and my pops, they asked who he was, and I said his name, and he was like, Red, your daddy? Red the barber, by the way, y'all might know him. And everybody in the school was just, they looked at him like he was a legend. Mind you, I've been knowing him for cutting hair my whole life.
Right.
So how major they looked at him as a barber, that made me take barbering a little more serious and let me know that I had to really learn how to do this, because this was important to people. Like, people didn't just look at it like you just cutting hair. This was an art.
And it's an art because there's a lot of people come in and ask you for different hairstyles. You gotta be able to, if you can't do the hairstyle, I mean, you won't have to allow to tell them, but if you can do it and you do your best at it, like that picture the other day, I like, no bullshit, I was really like, folks got some skills.
Appreciate it.
Matter of fact, too, that's what I was gonna put in, for like a follow-up. You know what I'm saying? How much you do for linings?
Normally for about a lining, depending on what you get. If you just getting a regular lining, just clippers 15. If you want enhancements, $20.
So I might say, I'll probably do like a lineup, and if you can put SK for me.
SK.
Serious. That's what I want. Because I'm telling you, oh, that ain't bad. Shit, that's actually decent. I heard motherfuckers say more than that. Alright, this next one. What challenges do you face when starting? Financial challenges, lack of skill, finding clients, or others?
I would say probably all 3. Because when you first get in, of course, you got to think. Most people looking at you like they don't really know who you are. One thing about barbering, people are real finicky. A lot of times in the barber field, people gonna go to either who they already know, they've been fucking with them from back in the day. I was cool, but I'm not from Gary. I'm from East Chicago.
Right.
So coming out here, I got to meet a lot of people going to school, but I didn't have a lot of like tight-knit friends.
Right.
So I didn't really have big supporters. So you come in the game, people don't really know you. They like, he cool. We went to school with him, but I ain't never known him cutting hair. So you gonna start off with that. Skills. I say skills. When it comes to skills, it depends on how serious you took it. I took it serious enough that within my first year, I was already kind of cutting at a high grade level. I wasn't as good as I am now, but I wasn't far from it.
Okay.
So skills, that all depends on how serious you take it while you're in school. While you're in school, you got to be going hard. You got to be willing to do shit that you know you don't know how to do. You got to just jump out there and take a chance on it. And finding clients, that all depends on how, the shop that you choose to go to, location. I was at Bilco's. Bilco's had a popular name. So it kind of goes back to having skills. If you got a decent amount of skills and you go to a shop where they got a decent walk-in rate, you won't have to do as much chasing clients. You just got to pretty much deliver.
Okay, see, that's good because I don't know the place you're talking about. What does that sit at in Gear?
It's on 24th and Broadway.
Okay, because I know I used to go to 45th right from up the street from Wallace, and when I say I went to maybe 3 barbers in there, when I got done with maybe 2 of them, I still got 1 barber. He on 45th right now. Matter of fact, you know where the spot is on 44th and something in Broadway, but it's called a Trap.
Yeah.
I've been going to him since high school.
Okay.
And when I say, bro, excellent in the motherfucker, I ain't gonna lie, his prices went up, so it kind of hit me a little bit. But I get what you're saying. You go to who you know, and I've been on him since high school.
Yeah.
So, but to me, it's not just about who you know. It's about what you're showing to show your clients that, oh yeah, I can do some shit. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't at least taking pictures, you know what I'm saying? At least. Shit, even if you, when you go ahead and tag me that, when you go ahead and, post it, whatnot, you gotta have some form of way people can see your art, because if they don't see your art, going off word of mouth don't always work.
That's true.
Alright, so this next one. And this might be the same question, I don't see how. Did you attend a formal barber school? Yes or no?
I went to Lulu's Barber College on 48th and Broadway. Ironically, the shop you might be talking about that was on 45th and Broadway.
Yeah, that was that's the
Robin. He owned. That's it. Yep. So that's why I ended up going to school. Actually, him and Bilco, they kind of like what can I say? They was kind of like Biggie and Tupac at Barber.
Oh, damn man. Okay, that makes sense. All right. This next one, how long did your training take? Less than 6 months, 6 months to a year, or over a year?
So schooling itself is about a year and a month. Okay. Learning to cut, like I said, it all depends on how serious you take it. Once I got into it and I realized how serious the other barbers were about it, like it's actually a world for barbering. Like once you get in it, you think it's just about learning how to cut hair, when in reality it's really about it's like I said, it's an art to people. These people, the people on the inside of it, it's a certain way you dress. Like, I don't know if people know, barbers actually have a color, like black. So you'll see, black is like our color. Like you'll see, black shirts, black hats.
So is there a particular reason why, or that's just the attire most go with?
If there's a reason why, I can't remember exactly the reason why, but it's like more really a style thing. Okay. You'll see a lot of black and gold.
That's what I used to see back in school.
Barber chains, with the barber pole on it, or like shears. You see some do tattoos or clippers, and so it's really a world for it. Like people really look at this. It's like a culture.
So basically, this like being in black ink.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I mean, from the outside looking in, and no, I can't lie and say it don't look like it, because the barber I was just talking about from the Trap. Yeah. When I say majority of them niggas is his homies from school or whatever they did back in the day, that's how you know, like, you gotta have your mindset to be able to deal with people a lot in different ways, because if not, your clientele will drop quicker than you gain.
Yeah.
So it's like, keep a positive mind with a lot of stuff. But what was your most valuable skill you learned during the training?
Most valuable skill, One of the things that I learned, a valuable skill I learned with it, I guess more so just being able to hold conversations.
Right.
That'll get you in the door. A lot of times, if you can find a way to relate to people, you can get people to stick around.
Right.
When it comes to this. Another thing is being able to explain what you're doing. So going back to what you were saying about your barber going up on his price.
Right.
If I decide to go up on my price, or I tell you my price is something, you got to be one thing in the barber field. A good skill is being able to explain why you're doing what you're doing.
True.
Why something is needed.
Right.
And why they would have to pay this extra price for it.
And see, I understand why they went up, because I understand keeping up, maintaining work for the shop, maintaining your equipment. And then you gotta think about it. If you own the building, the insurance on the building, the amount you take to it. Okay, if you don't own it, but you rent a chair. So I get that. It's a lot in there. But you not lying. You gotta tell the people why. Because if you just upping the prices, somebody random on the street gonna feel like you just doing some bogus shit.
And if they can find another barber who can do one thing about, and this is no disrespect to people who go to barbers, but a lot of times y'all don't see what we see in haircut. So I could be better than another barber, but if he do good enough to get his haircuts to look close to good as mine, and he's charging less, and I can't explain to you why I'm charging more, you gonna go.
And see, I'm not picky when it comes to pricing, when it comes to my look, because my biggest thing is your fade is what's gonna get people attention. You don't want to walk up to somebody and your shit look atrocious. All right, so this next one: do you believe formal training is essential to becoming a barber? Why or why not?
Yes, because another thing is when you do go to school for it, you learn more, like I said, about the culture, and you get a better understanding of why it's a big deal to be, or to have a certain skill, or to find your niche in barbering, as well as you learn other things outside of it. Like, so when you go to school for it, they teach you, you don't learn how to cut hair in school. Like I said, learning how to cut hair is still on you, but you learn a lot of things about the book work. You learn, like we had to learn about bones in the scalp, nerves in the face, because when you're doing a razor lining, you got to know what you're dealing with. You can cut somebody.
Close you in. Okay.
Yeah, you can cut somebody. And
that I didn't know. That's something that I didn't expect them to really touch on. And the only reason why I say that is because I think that's more like a medical thing. People would think it would be.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's something that you find out was back in the day, your barber, your dentist, and your doctor was all one person. If you ever go around a dentist, they would actually joke and say we cousins. Barbers and
see, I've never heard that, but that makes sense because they all dealing with you and him.
Yep. So you back in the day, like in the 1600s, you would go to the same person for the same thing. That's actually what the barber pole stands for. It's actually the red, white, and blue. Is actually, the white is for, I believe, the bandages. The red is for the blood. The blue is for the veins.
Didn't know that.
So.
Damn it. Tell me something. Hey, I'm gonna have to look back at this in the edit and remember this, because I've never heard that.
Yep.
Alright, this next one. How did you land your first job as a barber? Was it networking, applying to shops, starting your own business, or others?
So, like I said, my pops was already into it, so he was working at Bill Coast for a while. He wanted to bring me under his wing, so he talked to Bill. Bill asked me to come there. Originally, I was going to work under my pops. He was working at 2 shops at the time. So, the owner of Bill Coast, he was helping the barbershop at the flea market on what is that
on Cleveland?
Like, yeah, what was that, 43rd, or what was that?
It's about 41st or 43rd.
Yeah, so he was helping them to build their shop up, and he had brought my pops there. He was like his protege.
Oh, you talking about in there?
Yeah,
okay.
on the
And
inside.
see, I thought about going in there, but when I first walked past, it was a bunch of young guys. I want somebody that got experience. Like, don't get me wrong, like the young guys couldn't get it, but at the time being, I was so skeptical of letting people touch my. There's probably only 2 people still touch my head to this day. But to me, it's nothing against the young guys. It's just when I know the old head have been doing this for a while, I want somebody I know that's gonna bust it. Like you said, you got 10 years in. I come forward with you too, because you got experience. But if you like, when I say rookie, 2 years in, I'm still skeptical. Matter of fact, prime example, my man at the tribe, he had a few workers there. And this day he was like, well shit, I got something going on, I'm gonna let my mans cut you. So my mans ended up going, I had a fro. What he was supposed to be doing is like shaping it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he did. So when he did that day, this is why I don't have no sides. He cut it some way form that my sides never grew back the same. So I just said, fuck, I went with it, you know what I'm saying? Fade with it. But that's the only time I can honestly say I've been to his shop and I was pissed off, because other than that, I always went there. I mean, he like, when I say, bro, my fro used to be nice than a bitch when he used to do it back in the day. I stopped going for my fro when Buddy did that. Alright? The next one. What steps do you take to build a loyal client base?
Good steps to take to build a loyal clientele is, like I said, one, being able to find out what you could relate to with your clients, like what their personality is like, learning about their lifestyle, you know, asking questions about, you know, you don't want to get so personal that you know, make a person uncomfortable, but you know, you at least find out, you know, what their relationship is like, what are they dealing with on their job, how long they been doing, kind of the same thing we doing it. You kind of give your clients an interview. And when people feel like they can get comfortable enough to talk to you, usually people don't even focus on the haircut as much. They focus on the relationship they have with that barber.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. My man's, when I say I started as a teenager with him, I was maybe 13, 14 in high school. And when I say I didn't know much about him when he was starting out, but I seen he did some good shit. So my mom was like, well, since she knew him and she was giving a decent price, fuck it, go to him. I can honestly say when I met him, he was doing good. So over the years, I seen him do more better than what he started out with me. And that's only because you gotta learn your clientele's texture of their hair too. Like, for example, I got some little ones that if you cut their hair, you gotta almost cut it in a circle, because that's just how their hair rotate. Now, me personally, I really pay somebody to do that, because with me, I can cut it low, but I can't really cut in the form of their hair. So I'm like, I'll take them to a barber. But it's like, it takes experience. That's why I say, like, in general, I want that barber with experience, because I know he know what he's doing. If I knew, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say that. I kind of lied there. My man's Halo Drippy. Back in the day, he used to cut my shit. T-Well. He used to cut my shit back in the way. So, like, I can't exactly say you gotta have some years in, because if you showing me you can do it, and he used to do his own shit. When I say own shit, he was like, bro, I cut my shit as much as I cut yours, bro. And I'm telling you, I have a fat ass line, but I bet my fade was smacking. Alright, so this next one. Do you specialize in any particular technology or service to stand out? Yes or no?
Yes. One of the main things I do is I'm real good with designs and line enhancements, like using black, you know, of course the razor. You know, stuff like, so that would be my specialty, those two things.
Okay, I got a quick question before you finish that. So the little spray on, is that what they call enhancement? Okay, so that, I really wasn't sure if that was just like spray on because you was just trying to make it look like something, or it was just
So you got some people who use it to kind of cover up their mistakes. Me personally, I prefer to give you a full line without it first, and then I add the enhancements after. So it just all depends on the barber you go to. Like I said, some people use it to cover up what they don't know how to do. Then you got some people who I just make the line look better. You know, by the time you get out my check, it's not going to be so noticeable that you're going to know that you had an enhancement. So another barber.
But don't it wash off with regular water?
It depends. So we got techniques that we use to keep it from doing that. Yeah, you can, but it depends. Like, so there's some products that I use that are like semi-permanent, like a dye. Then there's some products that you can wash out, but we got techniques, you know, using certain types of holding spray. What do they call it? Hair fibers. Stuff that make it look more realistic, and you put holding spray on it, let it dry up, and it'll pretty much stick. You can get a good week out of it.
Okay, see, and that's why I asked, because I know a barber, Young K, and he used to do my shit too back in the day. he kind of did it with my boys. And I'm looking like, I don't have a problem with it. It's just, I didn't know what it was really for.
Yeah.
And more or less to me, I'm thinking like, once they lay down on the pillow, it's just gonna rub off.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was different once it's like permanent almost. Cause you know, they got fake tattoos where you get permanent for like a week almost. Yeah. So that I didn't know they do. Same material.
Yeah,
okay.
So, yeah, this just depending on the barber. If he know what he doing, he can give you something that'll last you.
Okay. All right, this next one. How did you market yourself in the beginning? Was it word of mouth, social media, advisory, or others?
So what kind of worked in my favor was, like I said, when I came into it pretty decent. That's why it always pays. That's why I say, when you don't learn how to cut hair necessarily in barber school, it's your job to make sure you understand how serious it is enough for you to build your own skill.
Right.
When I came to build codes, I came into a shop that already had a decent walk-in rate, and I came in with enough skill that I was able. Bill Co kind of used me as like a guy for like the younger people that was coming around. So he had a lot of young athletes that would come there, and you know, their parents had been going there for a long time. So how I built my clientele was I came in being able to do a lot of the things that some of the older barbers wasn't doing, but it was like a new technique that the younger clientele wanted done, and I just fed on that.
Okay, that's smart. You gotta market yourself best, because a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not really good at marketing, but I can show you some shit that you'd be like, okay, well, I see what you're doing, but you're not marketing well. Yeah. That's probably something I need to go and take up next. All right, this next one. What was the most important lesson you learned early in your career?
For one, first off, if you come into, and I would say with any business, I've taught people this, whatever your price is, make sure you start off at a price that you know that you would be comfortable with. Because one thing is hard to do is to change up later on. If whatever your price you want to be, start off at that price early. Okay. Don't try to work your way up to it. Your best bet is to try to work your skills up to be worth your price.
That makes sense. Get your skills up to that payment so about time. Well, okay, I see why you. Yeah, I took my time. I made sure all my points is right on. Okay.
Because whatever you charging, you don't want people. If we come to a time like we didn't expect the pandemic to happen.
Nobody did.
But when it happened, we all took a hit as far as, you know, the prices on things going up, gas, food, groceries, and barbers took a hit because we already get charged a lot for the products we use. Because a lot of people automatically assume that we make so much money.
And see, that was one of my first things, because a lot of them get cash. They're not getting like transfers over bank accounts or whatnot. That's where you actually got to show the government what you're making. That's the only reason I can think of that I thought a lot of people got paid differently.
Well, yeah, but it's like, so because as a barber you can charge what you want, and a lot of people can't, the government can't really say, or most people can't really say exactly what a barber makes, and then it's always changing because it all depends on how many clients you got that day.
Facts.
What type of haircuts they ask for.
All right, this next one. What does your current role as a barber involves?
My current role as a barber, I try to just continue to grow as far as my skills, to learn how to run a business more effectively.
Right.
As far as, you know, dealing with people, dealing with different types of people.
Right.
Enhancing my style and how I carry myself as a barber.
So, okay, this is just an extra question. I might have an answer, I'm not sure. But, okay, the question is, over the years of you having different clients, have you ever had moments where somebody was, I say, discomfort or maybe not happy about something?
I actually had a situation when I was new, and that's another thing funny about being a barber too that you have to learn, is learning how to deal with difficult clients, or learning how to keep them, like I said, we all as barbers make mistakes, but when you make mistakes, you have to be a barber that knows how to fix it before the client sees it.
Facts.
So one particular situation I had a client who I kind of, on the curves of his sides, I kind of didn't line one side the same as the next, and it was something that could have been fixed, but he saw it before I could fix it, and I gave him the mirror too soon. And he looked, and his first reaction was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Damn.
And this dude wasn't no small dude either. He was like he was, you know, he had to been about 6'3". He looked like Big Crit, but you ever seen the Ninja Turtles? Remember when Super Shredder?
Oh, damn.
he was like Super Crit.
Say, this nigga fuck something up.
Tatted up, he got up, he said, "Man, I should kill this nigga." Yeah, like it got to that point. Bill had to stop him, pull him outside. He said, "Hey man, let me holler at your fam." Dude was just looking at me huffing. Like swole. I'm like,
chance to fix.
I'm like, damn, this nigga finna kill me over this haircut. Found out he had just had a fucked up situation that had just happened to him with one of his sons. So, and he had just got out too. So he had a lot going on. So
that's fucked up.
Yeah. So yeah, it happens.
All right. This next one. What do you consider your biggest achievements in your barber career?
My biggest achievement, I would say my biggest achievement in barbering is figuring out how to financially take care of myself with something that I have to wake up and choose to go to every day.
True.
Because it's not like a regular job where you know exactly what you're going to get paid.
Right.
And you getting up based on their schedule. With this, you on your own. So you determine how much you make in a week or how hard your drive is. So to me, that's a big achievement for somebody like me, coming from a place where when I was young, I didn't even know what I was going to be doing in my life. So for me to get to this point that I'm waking up actively every day, making sure that I make stuff happen, that's an achievement for me.
Fuck with that. A lot of people can't say they found themselves. You found yourself in something that's really simple. Well, I wouldn't say simple. I don't know, disrespect, because a lot of people don't feel that simple, and I'm one of them. But it's good you found yourself to find something that makes you accomplished. You work waking up to actually walking out the house, because there's a lot of people working jobs now that shit, I'm a motherfucker call off today. Well, I ain't trying to see their ass today.
That's the thing too about it too that I like about barbering is, don't get me wrong, running your own business is definitely a challenge, because like I said, it's all on you.
Right.
But then, like you said, the good side of it is after your personality, if you got a decent personality and you carry yourself a certain way, your clientele is going to be based on how you carry yourself. So if you're dealing with difficult clientele, then you might have to ask yourself, well, what's about your personality that might be different?
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that can make the job easier to deal with, to not want to have to call off or walk around and be like, you know what, well, if I don't want to take clients in the morning, I'll just take them all in the afternoon, or vice versa.
True. Okay. Alright, this next one. What motivates you to continue in your profession? Is it your passion in hairstyle, meeting new people, creating experiences, or others?
I would say meeting new people. Meeting new people keep it interesting, because you always coming across different personalities, you come across different stories. I learn a lot about how I should carry myself in life, whether it's pertaining to relationships, business. A lot of people see my personality as being like somebody that they don't see getting too angry. You know, I seem pretty chill, but you learn stuff like that from your clients, because you learn how they react in certain situations by hearing their story. If they went through relationship problems or business partners, or you know, whatever situations that people, you learn so much. You kind of get, as a barber, you get insight on how you should handle situations before you even have to deal with it.
That's what's up. So basically, I'm gonna just say one thing for example first. Well, in general, it's good that a lot of people it's good you don't show your emotions even if you have a moment on your face, because I've been in situations where it's all in my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, like it's how you communicate, it's how you are around these people, because your facial expression can throw a person out.
Yeah.
Or something you thought was funny as a joke, throw a person. So it's easy to figure out who
you learn. Yeah, you learn that as a barber, like how people react to things.
Yeah.
What's cool, what's not cool.
Facts. It's good that you try to be your best to make sure that y'all have a best communication. Because I'm one of the motherfuckers in a minute, if I feel like we ain't communicating right, I'll be looking for something new. Because that means that either I feel you don't respect me, or I feel like you don't think you need my money. But as long as you show me you got respect, mutual understanding. Shit, I see well. Alright, so this next one. Do you run or manage your own barbershop?
So right now I'm in the process of managing my pop's shop. I just came from managing for one of my guys. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
That's what's up. Alright. Said, what's the most rewarding part of being a barber?
I say one of the most rewarding parts of being a barber is that you get paid every day that you work.
That's it.
So, you know, on one hand, being in a regular job, the benefits of having a job is you know what you're getting paid at the end of the week.
True.
Or at the end of 2 weeks.
True.
You don't know that as a barber, so that's one thing that can be a problem. But let's say you got a bill that's due tomorrow. I done had situations where I was behind on something and needed it, and I might come in Tuesday and make all that money on that Tuesday. I don't have to wait till the end of the week.
Right.
When payday come.
That's a lot better for most people, especially if you got at least 50 clients. At least 10 of them motherfuckers every other 2 weeks you're gonna be hearing from because like me, okay, in 2 weeks I'm gonna be looking for this to be lining back up, you feel me? So it's like you know who coming back. You're not worried about them coming back because you're keeping everything on point. The haircut, the payments that they, the pricing is decent. Your energy around them is decent. So the only thing they worried about is come in, kick it, and get out.
Get their haircut, and they already used to paying for it. Another thing is too, as a barber, you have to understand is you got to be a person that's willing to still kind of have that hustle in you.
Facts.
For instance, I had a situation actually just this past weekend where that's kind of what you seen that post that I posted up when you had hit me up.
Right.
I was posting to let people know to make sure to make their appointments, and I actually went through my phone and reached out to clients when I felt like I didn't have a certain amount of clientele or a certain amount of money I wanted to make. I reached out to people on my own and said, hey, make sure you make your appointments before this holiday or this weekend. I reached out to at least over 30 people. And I ended up filling up my schedule in those 2 days just on me reaching out to them.
That's what's up. See, that's way better than having a fucking 9 to 5.
I didn't have to wait,
all you know is, hey, if I got them coming in, I know I'm gonna make this shit by the week.
Yep.
That's good.
And that week was kind of slow too. So just me taking the initiative to go after people, even though I've been in the game for 10 years, you still gotta humble yourself and say, hey, some people might have stuff going on. They wasn't thinking about you at the time, and it ain't that they don't care about you or don't care about the haircut. They got other stuff going on.
True.
People actually thanked me. They was like, wow, man, I appreciate you, bro, for reaching out to me. Some of them added a tip to it. Man, bro, I thank you for getting me in.
Respect.
I thought you was booked.
And see, it's good that you're giving the time limit, at least up until the day, because I had my barber a few times. I'm like, gee, I need you this day, I need you this day. Man, that man ducked me for 3 days straight. But he ended up hitting me up on the Sunday. He like, man, come help me do this situation, bro. That motherfucker, language. He said, come help me do something, I got you. Man, he got done with my shit. That nigga had my shit. He like, bro, you helped me out. That shit free. I'm like, nigga.
Yeah.
That was a blessing that day, because I barely had it that day. So I know how to feel like to be like, damn. All right, this next one. If you could go back, what would you do different in your career?
If I could go back, what I would do different? I think one thing I probably would have did different was, if I could go back, I would probably promote myself a little bit more. Like I said, I would have made certain decisions that like I want to make now, I would have made them a long time ago.
Right.
So it doesn't come off as, you've been with a barber for so long and he say, hey, I gotta make some changes. You don't want them to feel like those changes you making are against them.
True.
So that's something, if you start off a certain way, how you start your business is how you finish your business.
Facts.
So that's something I would do different. I would have started off with certain things a certain way. Not being afraid to go into your business with whatever rules you have or what your pricing is or how you're going to conduct your business, that's on you. And that's with any business. Any business you doing, you want to come into it and start it the way that would be most beneficial for you.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, you got to go home to your family, your wife, your kids.
And tell them what's going on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright, this next one. What advice would you give someone that's just starting their career, their barbering career?
A barber that's just starting off, I would say come into it, just take it serious. Don't look at it like a get rich quick scheme. You gotta be willing to push yourself. You gotta be willing to be there. You gotta be willing to sit down for long hours, not get no money, not taking no clients, people walking past you, and you gotta still have that drive. Like I said, advice that I would give to a new barber, just be willing to learn constantly. Don't never stop learning. Constantly be willing to stick it out, sit there. Yeah, it gets slow. You know, it's a lot of new barbers that come in the game,
right.
Which kind of go into a question I was talking to you about earlier. A question someone asked me about why I didn't want to own my own shop.
Right.
And me personally, because there's so much work that go into it, you're responsible for everything. You're responsible for the overhead, because it's like you're paying two rents. You got to pay rent at home, then you got to pay for this building.
Facts. Okay.
And, you know, you might be talking, you know, anywhere from, now we're talking about like 2 bands maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Depending on what you're renting at home.
Especially if they looking at it like it's a business, it's a storefront. So your overhead, or if you own the building, you still paying for water, electrical, taxes.
Yeah.
So all of those things to think about. You got to do that on your own if you don't already have barbers working with you, and then even with barbers working with you, how skilled are they? How good is your walk-in rates? Are they making any money? And you will have a lot of new barbers. I done seen so many new barbers come and go because they don't know how to sit and be still, because there's gonna be some days that you sitting in there for 8 to 10 hours,
right?
And you might only go home with $30.
You gotta have that mentality. I'm gonna stick to it. I go home tonight
every day, and then because that one client gonna turn into tomorrow 2 clients, and then next week that's gonna be 3 clients, and then
the fact that you don't have no clients and you sitting there and you waiting, you showing people, or you at least when they walk in, you need someone, man.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're at least one of the first ones to greet them. Even if it's like, okay, I wouldn't say jump on somebody if that's their client. I wouldn't do that. But if like this like a new face in here and nobody touched them yet, my man, you need some help, I'm open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that good conversations.
Right.
Sometimes just being next to another barber that got clients,
right,
and you just being able to relate to him. Like one of my partner that I was working with, me and him had such a good relationship. We would crack jokes all day, and that turned into me talking to his clients. So when after watching me for a year or so, they like, man, I don't watch this dude come up. He look pretty decent. When he ain't available, now I'm cutting some of them. So and so on and so forth with everybody in the shop. So you just got to be one of them barbers. New barbers, that's my advice. Be willing to stick it out even on the slow days, because you're not going to get anywhere in no business that you do for yourself if you don't know how to stick it out through the slow days.
Facts. He only spitting facts. Alright, my people. It's your boy SK74 Official, my man.
Kian Diral.
We gonna go and run this boy out. Let go.
It's all good, man. Shout out to Solo, man, for shooting this, man.
Make sure y'all subscribe to